Hi, I'm Danielle Casey, President and CEO of the Albuquerque Regional Economic Alliance. I'm very excited to talk today about site readiness and the criticality of this type of work for economic development. And with me is my friend Sal Perdomo with Titan Development. Sal, I have to start out with something that people in Albuquerque like to start with. Where'd you go to high school? And then tell me about Titan and what you do.
Yeah, thank you, Danielle. I've actually been in Albuquerque for 11 years. I moved here from Texas, so I grew up in the DFW area and went to a high school called Jesuit Dallas.
You know what? I didn't know that, and we'll forget that. I was actually born at Carswell Air Force Base.
Were you really? Okay, I love it. I love it. Texas is, where I grew up, but Albuquerque is home now. I've been here, like I said, 11 years. I actually started my career in economic development for a short time before making my way over to commercial real estate. As you said, I work at Titan Development, do a lot of our front-end work, so I'm out finding deals, getting the deals moving forward, and fill in the pipeline up for our development team.
I can attest to that because I think we probably talk at least once a week, or you talk with our team. We work a lot of projects and deals.
We do, yeah.
And we're thinking a lot about infrastructure and site readiness. So I think you could probably, echo or at least, vouch for me that we don't suffer in this market for lack of looks. Mm-mm. We have a lot of opportunities that are looking at Greater Albuquerque and looking at New Mexico. So talk to me a little bit about that. You guys have a lot of property that you're developing, and one of them is West Point 40. Mm-hmm. So tell me a little bit about, again, the work that Titan does in this market and others. Mm-hmm. And then talk to me about West Point 40 as a project and a site opportunity in particular.
Absolutely. Well, from the time that I've been in New Mexico, one thing I do know is that we do get a lot of looks. I've seen it. Unfortunately, a lot of those do not come to fruition. But Titan is lucky enough with many of our local partners to own about 100 acres of industrial land at 98th and I-40, with where it's strategically located on I-40, with a 3-minute drive to I-40 from the site. We developed a speculative industrial building there. We've seen really strong leasing velocity on it. We're almost fully leased. We just sold land to a data center that is breaking ground this week.
Yes, we know those guys.
Yes,
yep.
We do. We worked on that together. Mm-hmm. And then have a number of other users that are looking at the site. We've lost a lot of deals at West Point 40, though. One of the reasons is because the offsite infrastructure was not ready. And we unfortunately could not front that funding to pay for that offsite infrastructure. Have worked with the city to try to get that teed up and are always in discussions with them. But we've lost a lot of deals because the deal needed to be ready in 12 months and we couldn't deliver it until 18 months.
Exactly. It's a challenge. And I'm sure you're seeing Titan works in a multi-state capacity. Other markets, and not that we have to do what everybody else is doing, but there's a competitiveness factor out there. And if we want the inward investment, if we want new jobs into our community that then create more and more new jobs and investment and quality of life, we have to think about, are we at least competitive with the next location, with El Paso, with Dallas-Fort Worth? And I think I'm seeing it in other markets. Are you seeing that other communities and states have programs in place to address infrastructure?
They do. And everywhere is difficult to develop. Everywhere is difficult to get buildings off the ground. Everywhere, no city is immune. No city makes it really easy. It's always difficult. But what we've seen in a lot of the markets we work in is that cities will contribute to paying for offsite infrastructure to help tee up sites because they see the downstream benefits of bringing economic-based jobs. As mentioned earlier, one economic-based job brings 4 service-based jobs. And that brings revenue for the cities. And if they can save 6 months on a project's timeline, that project will go to Albuquerque versus Dallas or Phoenix or El Paso. A lot of the things, labor is constant among a bunch of places, cost of living, quality of life, some places are better than others, but timing is the biggest important for a lot of these users.
Time is money.
Time
is money. So one thing we're really excited about then is we've been talking about this for quite a while. I know our communities and all of our partners want to see these things happen. Very excited to see the governor actually call for an investment in site readiness as part of her recommended budget. So we're tracking that carefully. We're excited. Good. We've been providing data. We definitely want that to happen. And from our count, from the research areas done, at least 36, maybe more, other states or regions have site readiness programs in place. I'm very hopeful that very soon we are going to be able to tout that New Mexico is a state that has a site readiness initiative underway and funded.
I love it. I love it. New Mexico and Albuquerque in particular has such good transportation networks that if you invest a little bit of money into, Upper West Side, you invest a little bit of money in Mesa del Sol, other places, you can really, really stimulate economic growth in those areas.
I want to talk about another piece of infrastructure. I know something also that's near and dear to Titan's heart and yours, housing. One of the frequent questions I get when any company comes into town and looks around, well, we can talk about this too, but they'll look at our urban core and then they'll drive around and they'll go out maybe to the west, maybe to West Point 40, and they'll go, great, where are all the employees that I'm going to put here? Where do they live or where are they going to live? Mm-hmm. Where's my workforce housing? What do you think about that and what are we doing to address it?
Yeah, and the mayor has said a lot about how many housing units are needed in the Albuquerque region, and it's significant. I don't know the exact number, maybe 30,000 or something to that effect, but we need housing units of all types. We need affordable housing, we need market rate housing, we need that missing middle housing, we need for rent, we need for sale, we need higher density, lower density, all types of housing, and it ties into site readiness. If you can't go out and build 200 units of housing if there's no infrastructure or no roads to get to that property.
And if it's cost prohibitive,
Nobody's
the price point is going to go up, and we're going to perpetuate challenges with cost of housing for our residents as well.
If housing costs $400,000 for a normal resident, but we can't build it for we can only build it for $500 because there's too much offset infrastructure, those numbers don't work. You're not going to build housing.
Exactly. So cautiously optimistic. We see hopefully some good progress happening. At least we're all thinking in the right direction.
Yes.
Very good.
And also, on the housing front, downtown is the heartbeat of our city,
sure
right?
Is.
And the more ability to build housing in downtown, the more ability to bring jobs and bring people and bring services downtown. That will continue to positively exacerbate our economy and work as our heartbeat here in the center of the city where we're sitting right now.
Absolutely. I'm very excited about that. One of the things that Aerie's been very involved in, and in fact, we even have a little bit of a group gathering this week with some consultants, is a formation of a downtown business improvement district. So there's a lot of great conversations. It always starts with education and conversation, and really, I'm very excited because I think that education and conversation has taken us to where it really, truly right now is a dialogue driven by the property owners, which is pretty exciting. So more to come on that.
Yes, some financing districts downtown would be huge and basically a game changer.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah, it's going to be a big deal.
Yeah.
I think 2025 is going to be amazing if some of these things really take serious traction. They're already digging some rivets in the road. But so for you, what do you want to see happen this year? What's your vision? What would be like, if these three things were to happen, or one or two, what do you want to see? What's your dream?
Well, you want me to say that we get site readiness funding,
sure,
right? That's the big thing. Yeah. So
only if you agree.
Hopefully we can get some site readiness funding from the state legislature here at the 60-day session. And the business community is here to help you get that and work with the legislators to get that funding. Just speaking about 2025, we started off on a great note. At City Council on Monday, they approved at a 7-2 vote the IDO amendment bill, which focused on limiting the ability for neighborhoods to appeal projects to just property owners within the boundary of that project or near that project, which is a huge benefit to stimulating business growth and showing the rest of the country that Albuquerque is open for business. Additionally, it included some additional amendments related to opening up housing opportunities and housing-related zoning along our corridors. So that was a great start to the year, and hopefully it leads to more positive momentum and some more economic-based job announcements, as we all love to hear.
Well, it's really exciting. Thank you for all your work, not only at Titan, but you are involved in so many organizations in the community. You give your time to really making Greater Albuquerque better. So I want to thank you and everybody at Titan for all that you do, and let's make it a great year.
Thank you, Danielle. Always happy to help.
Awesome.
Yeah, awesome.